After 17 years of marriage, my wife divorced me in search of freedom, but soon regretted it. My name is Ronald, and I'm 51 years old. I was married to Kathy, who's 47 now, for 17 years. We have two sons. One is 18, and the other is 19. I work at a consulting firm where we help with financial investments. The job pays well, but it demands a lot of hard work and long hours. Kathy was a beautiful woman and a wonderful wife for those 17 years. She took care of our kids, planned our holidays, and was the star of family gatherings. I've always tried to be a good provider because I believe that's my responsibility as a husband. I spent countless hours in the office and traveled thousands of miles to ensure my family had the best and could enjoy a great life. Kathy always took good care of her appearance. She worked out regularly, and I supported her by paying for her breast implants and some facial procedures, including regular Botox shots. As beautiful as she is, Kathy isn't very skilled in areas outside her strengths, like car repairs, household tasks, and financial matters. But she excelled at finding the best dresses and knowing where to get them, which made her happy. There were times when she became frustrated and irritable if things didn't go her way, but one thing is certain, she loves our kids deeply. After our 16th wedding anniversary, things started to go downhill. The COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on the global economy, and my income took a hit. When income decreases, spending logically should too. But Kathy had a different perspective. She was unhappy because she couldn't go shopping for new clothes or meet her friends during the pandemic. Once the pandemic was over, Kathy went back to her usual habits, but something about her attitude seemed different. I knew I had to work hard to get things back on track financially, so some aspects of our home life had to take a back seat. Kathy started using TikTok to pass the time at home, and to my surprise, she gained a significant following on the platform. As time went on, Kathy grew more distant. I tried to spend time with her, but she was more interested in making TikTok videos and sharing updates about her day. I watched her videos occasionally, and they started to worry me. The content became darker, touching on themes like freedom and women's oppression. In one video, she even praised Mia Khalifa for her ability to collect wedding rings and keep Tom Brady on his toes. That really raised some red flags for me. Then came a conversation with Kathy that I'll never forget. She asked for a divorce. I was shocked. It felt like all those years of love and togetherness were crumbling before my eyes. When I asked her why, she said she didn't feel loved anymore, and that we were incompatible. She even mentioned that she didn't think we looked good as a couple anymore. I realized that I hadn't had time to work out because of my demanding job, and I'd gained some weight over the years. But I never saw Kathy as a trophy to be paraded around, and I never imagined she'd discard me just because I didn't look good next to her after 17 years of marriage. That night, I cried and felt utterly lost. I even offered to get in better shape, but she declined, saying she needed to feel loved and wanted to explore the world. I warned her that she hadn't done things on her own in years, and that she might face challenges she wasn't prepared for. I told her to reconsider and understand that at 47, the world outside the security of our home could be tough. Kathy didn't change her mind. I had to break the news to our sons, and they were just as shocked as I was. They were worried about her well-being, especially given some of the things she'd tried to do on her own in the past. Like the time she filled the car with vegetable oil instead of engine oil. That mistake cost me thousands of dollars to fix. So you can see why we were all so concerned. I tried my best to convince Kathy to reconsider, but she was determined to follow this path to what she called freedom and love. The thought of checking if she was cheating on me did cross my mind, but I decided not to go down that road. I knew it would only make things worse for me. I met with my lawyer and asked them to prepare the divorce papers. Kathy and I never had a joint account, so most of my money was in a trust for our son's education and potential business ventures. I didn't have a lot in my personal account, but I paid Kathy a significant sum by selling our home, and she seemed content with that. At this point, I've decided not to waste any more time dwelling on what happened with Kathy. I've come to realize that my intense desire to make her happy might have played a part in her decision to leave. I'm ready to focus on the next chapter of my life. We got divorced, and on the day we met at the court, I asked Kathy one last time if she understood the consequences of her actions. She replied that she was there for her freedom and would soon be soaring high in the sky. After the divorce, Kathy moved into a new apartment she had leased, while I continued with my life and eventually bought a small place of my own. A few days later, one of my colleagues, Maria, asked me out for dinner, and I agreed. Over the next few weeks, we started dating. Maria is an intelligent and attractive woman. Meanwhile, Kathy continued with her video content. One day, I stumbled upon a video where she explained why she got divorced. She said she didn't feel loved anymore, and that after 17 years of marriage, she wanted to explore and find love. Many of her followers cheered her on and left approving comments. When I checked Kathy's followers, I noticed that most of them were middle-aged women. It seems like people with similar mindsets tend to flock together. I had a feeling Kathy would soon realize what it really meant to be single, and it didn't take long for that to happen. In one of her videos, Kathy expressed concerns about managing simple daily tasks, things like taking out the garbage, changing a light bulb, and making sure her car was serviced on time. In her next video, she announced that she was looking for a date and even shared her Tinder profile, asking people to swipe right. She mentioned that she would choose who'd be lucky enough to date her. I was disgusted. I never expected her to stoop to that level. A week later, she posted another video explaining why her new boyfriend was already an ex. She said he was only interested in getting her into bed. She was giggling as she talked about it, as if getting pumped and dumped didn't bother her at all. The very thought that the mother of my kids was now being used by Tinder guys made me sick. In another video, Kathy complained that men were only interested in one-night stands with her. She laughed about her experiences with 2 or 3 night stands, and it was clear her standards were falling fast, like the collapse of Enron stocks. On the other hand, my relationship with Maria was going strong. We planned a Memorial Day trip with my 2 sons and spent time together as a family. I didn't inform Kathy because I felt she no longer deserved to be part of our lives. My sons posted some of our pictures on Instagram, and Kathy saw them. She commented, "I gave birth to you, and always remember that." Her words didn't sit well with the boys. My younger son was upset by Kathy's comment and decided to remove it. The next day, she went on a rant on TikTok, talking about how she didn't feel loved and how she hadn't been given the opportunity to work outside the home. She even claimed she felt like a prisoner in her own house, oppressed by the responsibilities of taking care of the kids full-time after they were born. Kathy went on to accuse me of accumulating a lot of money without sharing it with her, saying she felt nearly broke and betrayed in the divorce. She cried about spending Memorial Day alone, watching other families enjoy their time together. I guess Chad and Tyrone were busy with their own families, leaving Kathy by herself. Yes, I made a lot of money, and I worked hard for it, for the sake of my kids and my ex-wife. Kathy chose to leave behind a life of luxury, and now she's paying the price, even though she was warned about the consequences. In her next video, Kathy appeared with a black eye. She said she had been assaulted by a Tinder date who got drunk and angry when she asked him to drink less. The police arrested him, and she claimed she would stop online dating, deciding instead to look for dates at local shopping centers in hopes of finding a gentleman to ask her out. I had my doubts about any gentleman approaching a 47-year-old woman for a serious date, but I was sure there would be plenty of guys looking for just a quick fling. I've proposed to Maria, and we're getting married. My sons approve and are happy for me. I've kept Kathy in the dark about it because I don't want any interaction with her now. To me, she's nothing more than a cheap source of entertainment. A few days later, I saw Kathy dancing on TikTok in her undergarments. I guess a lot of people got quite the show. The day after Kathy's TikTok performance, one of my colleagues asked if my ex-wife was okay and if she had any mental issues. I was furious and told him to take it up with Kathy directly. I couldn't understand why he was asking me. Later I realized I had missed one of Kathy's videos where she was crying, saying she regretted divorcing me. She confessed she wished she had stayed in our marriage, saying she missed her gentleman husband and her dear sons. Kathy admitted that after the divorce, she hadn't found any real love, just men looking for cheap thrills and one-night stands. She said she was miserable and hinted at wanting to return home to her family. She seemed to believe I would forgive her and take her back. Well, Kathy, that ship has sailed, and it has a new crew. You made your bed outside the safety of your home, and now you'll have to lie in it. I warned you. I reminded you. I even pleaded with you, but you were determined to chase your so-called love and freedom. Your disillusionment made you crazy, and your followers encouraged you to believe you'd made the right choice. While you were gone, I found a great partner and real love. You, on the other hand, just added to your body count. All the best to you, but don't even dream of coming back to me. I'm an investment expert, not a junkyard dog. I married Maria in a private ceremony with only my sons, a few close family members, and friends in attendance. Somehow, Kathy found out about the wedding and barged in, causing a near meltdown. She started screaming and was on the verge of destroying the wedding cake before my sons and security managed to stop her and escort her out of the venue. She waited outside, and when I came out, she hurled accusations, blaming me for her misery. She even broke down crying, then suddenly got up and tried to throw a stone at Maria. My younger son caught her hand just in time, and my elder son called the cops. Kathy was arrested on the spot. I almost burst out laughing when I overheard someone at the wedding refer to her as a level 47 Karen. We later got a restraining order against Kathy, and I hope that will keep her away from us. It's been 6 months now, and I'm on vacation with Maria in Paris. Life is good. Oh, and yes, I still see Kathy on TikTok and still enjoy her crazy rants.